Siyabonga kakhulu Mageba, siwavusele onke emaswati emakhaya. Sibonge kakhulu ukuthi nihlanganyele nathi ngalesi sikhathi sitawukwati ukuthi sivuselane. Siyabonga kakhulu Zulu.
Mhlawumbe sengingasho nje my leader ukuthi congratulations kulesihlalo losonikethwe sona sihlalo lesikhulu lesi. Ngifuna kwecala my leader i-comment yakho about ukukhethwa kwakho ukuthi ube ngi-chairperson wayo i-MSF. Ingathini i-comment yakho my leader?
Sekuthi Mageba ngicabanga ukuthi umsebenzi lo njengalona asimsebenzi wokubonga. Kodwa nangabe emaswati la kuyo lo mbuthano we-MSF abone kufanele ukuthi silekelelane kuchuba lo msebenzi weku-attain idemocracy in our lifetime. Siyakwemukela lokho kude lesingakwenda. Kufanele ukuthi simukele lokho losekushiwo emaswati sithathe lenyanza sichubeke nayo sisebenze Zulu.
Awu siyabonga kakhulu my leader. Ngiyacela maswahla amahle wena losongele livele ushare ulandzela abanye ubatshele ukuthi sesikhona sesiphakathi inside. Ya ngifuna my leader singene kunaye esibili umbuto. Ngifuna kuva lokuthi sivile lokuthi emhlangano wegcina we-MSF lobe khona kube khona ama political parties laphumile angalucethi lo mhlangano my leader. Ungathini mhlawumbe comment yakho kuloko njenge newly elected chairperson ye-MSF?
Well, sikutholile lokho besikhona lapha kule General Assembly ye-MSF lebebanjwe esibayeni. Watholakala ke ukuthi ekuchubekeni kwayo lebe yinhle Zulu ngicela ukusho lokho ukuthi ihambe kahle kakhulu. Ikhonile ukuthi wende cishe umsebenzi wayo lebe uhlanganele ikakhulu. The main and the most important item kube ukuthi ku electwe buholi lokutawulekelela buholi lebezevele bukhona kukhethwe chairperson lobese kuba ngini kuphindze kukhethwe na deputy chairperson. So kwendekile ke konke lebe ihlanganele. Le ngithatha ke ngekuthi uma ngabe kwendeke konke lebe ihlanganele kusho ukuthi iyobe ihambe kahle Zulu asikwamukele lokho. Kodwa ke phela kukhona laba bese seba ukuthi squad sisebenzisana eZulu siye phambili.
Yeah ngifuna kuva my leader ukuthi ngiyeva ukuthi kukhona leni ngucocako khona leni kulungisako akhona imathuba lokuthi singababona babuya nisebenza
singacabanga ukuthi ngiko lokubangela ukuthi bagcina sebangasabi lapha nemhlanganweni ukuthi into nje leti ingalungiseka lokungasindwa lenganani eqinisweni. Sibhekile keZulu ukuthi cishe kubo bonke labathinzekile kutawulungiswa lokuyi concern and then sikwade ukuthi sichubeke sisebenze. Lo msebenzi lesibhekene nawo Zulu nemaswati lamahle ngingakuchaza nje ukuthi ngumsebenzi lomkhulu kunathi sonke lokufuna ukuthi siubeke above our petty interests noma ngabe ngema concerns la kanjani sikulungise kude sitokwade ukuthi sithwale umsebenzi ongalo emaswati labheke siwende size siphumelele kwendeni kwethu.
Awu kuyavakala my leader. Ngifuna singene kunayi elenye leadership kuvumela ukuthi i-MSF vele inhlangano yephudemo my leader ngeke sikubalekele lokho bayakusho labanyenti. Ngifuna kuva ukuthi wena lapho ingathini i-comment yakho kulowo mbuto kuleyo nkulumo my leader.
Ngicabanga ukuthi kulaba labangathi mhlambe noma labasho lokushoko ukuthi i-MSF mhlambe i-proxy ephudemo nami ngengakuva lokho. Ngicabanga ukuthi kokuqala nje that's an ill-informed stance noma mhlambe kukhulunyiswa nje kungadi. Liqiniso lithi i-MSF inhlanganisela yadotonke inhlangano letikhona letisebenza kweeveni letisebenza indzaba tepolitiki leliphindze lisebente indzaba yenhlala kahle leliphindze lisebente indzaba yetisebenzi nabo bonke nje labakhona kuma civic society organizations. Lesithatha ngekuthi ke uma ninhlanganisela lengako lenemalunga landlula le bo 25 akwati ukuthi onke lawo ma organizations lawo kungaba ma organizations ephudemo. So alikho liqiniso lawo. Yebo kona iphudemo phela ikhona as part of i-MSF enemalunga ayo aya participate ku-MSF. Labanye babo futhi baba holi kuyo i-MSF. ngicabanga sakusilo licala lokho ngoba phela abasebenza nalabanye mina nje njengama ngisilo lilunga lephudemo lengithatha ngekuthi ke mhlambe ukukhuluma kabi nje labanye abantu lesisebenzisana nabo noma inhlangano lesisebenzisana nato kuyo iMSF. So there is no truth to those allegations. Inhlanganisela yethu inhlangano tonke letikhona eSwatini noma letiningi letikhona eSwatini letisebenza kuleti inhlaka lesengitibalile mfokazulu.
Yeah, kunana umbuto lovelako la my leader lengifuna ukuthi mhlawumbe singawuchecka my leader uthi lona Zulu ngicela umbutele kuTemmeli lapho ku chairperson wethu lomusha kuthi iSwalimo ize iphume lapha kulomhlangano. What was their concern? Angathi ukuthi can we attend to that my leader?
No, in terms of the report that I received, you will remember Zulu ukuthi ngenxa yale banning order against me, which is both immoral and illegal. Angikwatanga ukuthi ngibe sesibayeni physically, kodwa ngakwade ukuthi ngijoin the proceedings online. So ngekwadi kwami lokhu lebe sikubhalile sakubhalela iSwalimo bekuyimizamo yethu phela amageba kwadi ukuthi ngesikhathi senishiya le assembly ngalesihlanu nayishiya ngasiphi isizathu nane ukuthi lokuyishiya kweni assembly kufuna ukuthi sikuthathe ngokuthi kusho ukuthini. Uma ngabe ke kukhona lokungema concerns noma lokungema issues lebe nifisa ukuthi ngabe siyaku-attenda kuyini so that we can deal with it. So insofar as le question lo ibutako noma lo mlalela ibutako ukuthi yini lokwabangela lokho ngicabanga ukuthi iSwalimo ngiyo lengaba best placed ukuphendula lokho ngoba nathi sigcine singasalitholanga lithuba le ukuthi isitshele ukuthi kwabangelwa yini ngoba kube besatile eZulu besitawukwati ukuthi then bese sesiyaku-attenda siyakulungisa kuqhutsheke kusetshenziswe phambili. So ngalama fisha nje ngathi asati phandle kokuthi ke because phela ema events abese sayaqhubeka igcine iSwalimo sayi-withdraw from iMSF ngetizathu kweleti ibalile. Ngiyacabanga silabanye basibonile statement sayo lapho na ikhuluma ngebullying, ikhuluma ngeintimidation, ikhuluma nange-humiliation. But ke lengingakusho Zulu kulula kuvele uliste emagama etinvo lothi uyentiyenteka kuwe uma ungaprovidanga ama details akho ukuthi now ukuthi you are being humiliated usho ukuthini, you are being bullied usho ukuthini, nini ubulishwa ngibani nabani, bakubhulisha ngekuthini, bakuhumiliate ngekuthini, then what is there to deal with? So I think it's unfortunate, but that is where we are.
Yeah, usakhuluma leyo my leader as the new chairperson MSF. What is your comment about Swalimo's withdrawal from MSF? Itsini comment yakho lapho my leader.
First of all, I don't think there was a need for Swalimo to withdraw. But of course, I cannot speak for Swalimo's leadership. Neither can I speak for membership here, Swalimo. But for me, as an incoming chairperson, and having heard the reasons for the withdrawal, it is unfortunate. That's the decision that they have taken. I don't think there was a need to withdraw. If I look at the reasons, njengoba besengishilo ukuthi ngingishemen lo fika manje ngifike idola ngachatha ngishona eliviki. So I have no doubt in my mind ukuthi some of the issues, if not all, lokuthiwa abesizathu sekusibagcine baphumele, we could deal with those things. Uma ngabe futhi letizathu ngilethi litibhalwe phansi encwadzini mhlambe naletibhalwe phansi ku statement, then I can be sure ukuthi those are things that we could have easily dealt with quite easily ngaphandle kwenkinga. So I would have been very, very keen to hear out iSwalimo, to look into the issues and deal with them. But this poses a question, Zulu, ukuthi why was there no appetite to allow the new chairperson, angakhetwa ngabangethwa ngiphinza ngakhetwa na deputy chairperson, lokungibonisile mamba, why was there no appetite to allow us to look into the concerns so that we can then deal with these issues and look at how they are resolved? Uma ngabe siyehluleka ke nathi sivele sijikele lithawula. It would appear to me there was no intention to allow this particular chairperson, together with the deputy and the collective of the secretariat or the MSF leadership as a whole, to deal with these issues. But ke tinvo lebe singatilungisa Zulu. Mhlambe ngathi nje ngicabanga ukuthi umnyango we MSF because MSF sitawukhumbula it's an inclusive platform le faka phakathi tonke inhlangano njengoba bese ngibalile le hlose ukuthi it to deepen the political understanding as well as to bring on board a wide spectrum of NGOs, civic society organizations, political parties, bonke labafuna inkululeko yeMaswati. Le ngicabanga sinangabeke iSwalimo ifuna inkululeko yeMaswati njengoba ishilo ukuthi iyayifuna nami ngibathi basho njalo nebaholi bayo ngibathi basho njalo umnyango weMSF usavulekile. They can just come back anytime and then singabona ukuthi kulungiswa kanjani. So as far as I am concerned and as I remain a chairperson, that door will remain open because le tinto ekukhulunywa ngato lebe kuthiwa inkinga, we can deal with those things without a doubt. We can deal with those things.
Chairperson, now you can deal with those things. Ushonu ngoba bakhala ngabe ukuthi banalokuthuka nangabe kuhlangenwe bathuka ekuhlatshelwe ingoma letiba against their stand. Ni ready yini usinababuya eneyabavikela kuletinto leto Chairperson?
Well, first of all, kuwami umhlangano that is chaired by me kudelota uthuka lomunye. That's the starting point. Yeah. So uma ngabe itolo iSwalimo beyithukwa ngekho. So for that reason alone, I can tell you that thing was not going to happen. Yeah. Because when we meet, we are meeting to deal with issues of Maswati that are very, very critical. We carry the hopes of the nation. We need to bring about some constitutional reforms or some changes and usher in a new democratic dispensation. So for that reason, then you cannot allow at a leadership level where people are sitting to deal with the issues of concern for a Maswati, the trading of insults and all of those things that they are complaining about. So in my meetings, that was not going to happen. Yeah. Now, so that is the opportunity that I think should have been availed to us so that we can demonstrate what we are able to do in resolving these particular issues of concern. Now, probably now they would have something to say about Tugan. But that is exactly why there has to be a leadership that is able to calm the storms and to call order where there is need to be order. And so I can assure you that that would have been a thing of the past if it ever happened in the past, but I can say that it was not going to happen in my meetings.
So they are protected, my Chairperson.
They should come back. There is no reason why MSF, why Salimo is not in the MSF, especially under this particular leadership. There's no reason why. I don't understand why they are where they are. Now, Maswati needs to understand that everybody must gravitate towards the program of MSF, because you cannot allow a situation where there is further fragmentation of the mass democratic movement. The only beneficiary for any fragmentation of a mass democratic movement can only be the regime. Now, so if we are saying then we want to change the status quo, then it stands to reason there's a multiplicity of voices, but coalescing around Lubumbano Loluyuan and one leadership that is able to champion the cause for the liberation of Maswati.
We are my leader saying we are uqoqela njengoba naku siyaxoxa la ngikhuluma nalabanye nje siyafonelana nema leaders ngiyawabuta ukuthi niva njani ngekhetha kwadlakadla ngicine ngifika nala khona ngifonela president weSwalimo Gauzela ngiyambuta ukuthi how is your feeling about the new leadership. Uthezulu, I don't want to lie to you, my brother. Kodwa wena ngoba ngidawusala nawe vele ngidakuvisa ukuthi bekathini. Uthi mina I fully support Dlakadla. Inhlitiyo yami inako kumthemba Dlakadla ukuthi he's the one to lead us. ngithi mina president manje thabo ungangeni live ukusho lokho uthi no Zulu lokho akufuni ukuthi ngize ngikusho mina but I truly trust sithathakahle njengoba nje akulalele la ngiyambona umlomdzala ukhona la amaswati ayakuthemba umlomdzala kanti nami ngivela kuthiwa kukhetheke wena inhlitiyo yami yajabula because I know you nenhlitiyo yakho ngemaswati ngifuna ke my leader njengoba ngisho ukuthi ngiyakwati lenhlitiyo yakho nemaswati sisenkingeni lapha labanye badosela lela abanye badosela lena asikabambisani ikhona yini plan lonayo njeka chairperson lomusha we MSF ukuthi uwa-unite lamaswati ngoba siyakuthika lokuba united.
Okay, ngiyaqala mhlambe kulokushobo lokushuka ngomhlonishwa Gawuzela lo exile lomunye wabaholi lesisebenzela ukuthi bakwadi kubela eSwatini bangalengelwa inkemba futhi bangalengelwa namacala labangakawenti umbuso uyati ukuthi Gawuzela is innocent, Gawuzela kanacala, Gawuzela kufanele singabe usekhaya eSwatini nemndeni wakhe, Gawuzela watithola sekaphumile eParliament ngalokungekho emthethweni. So angithi ke Mageba ngiyakuva lokushoko lokuthi kushiwo ngumhlonishwa mina lengingakusho nje ngathi kumalungu eSwalimo naku uZulu uyawatshela ukuthi umholi wawo uthini. Umholi weSwalimo utshela Zulu nami ngivanga Zulu uthi he has confidence in the leadership of the incoming chairperson of the MSF lokungini isicelo Mngomezulu. So sekungaba kuwo ke malunga ukuthi athini ngalokho lokusho ngpresident akuthatha ayakuhlatiya ayakusebenta endanjani ngawo kuyaphambili. Mngomezulu sowushilo ukuthi iMSF umnyango wawo savulekile kubo bonke laba stage i-walkout including iSwalimo leseyibe seyibhala incwadi yoku-withdraw from iMSF. So siyakubonga ke lokusho nginguni. But ke ngicabanga ukuthi maybe further to answer your question Mageba, the reality of the situation is that siyatsingana sonke thina lesithi we are advocating for a transition into a democratic Swaziland. Uma ngabe politics Zulu, politics is a team sport. Angeke uyidlale ayifani netennis ukuthi uwina wedwa konke ujima wedwa konke wenda wedwa. It's a team sport. Uthi naso ungabeke so uyijoyina ipolitiki uyijoyine ungene ku collective ungene ube imember ye team noma so ungenile kuleyo team leyo kuthi iManzini Wanderers ngiyo i-team le strong nawo onke ama team la khona ngiyabekisa eSwatini angeke sikuve ngemlomo lokho kufuna kube ukuthi iManzini Wanderers ikwatile ihlulela amanye team kude ukuthi ithathe leso sixoxo lesikhona noma iwine ileague. Ngizama ukuthini ke Zulu ngizama ukuthi la ku politiki noma ngabe unenhlanganisela lo lenganani yepolitiki lothi wena is strong kanganani lothi wena is powerful kanganani that nhlanganisela or that party must enter the marketplace of ideas where there's a contestation of ideas, strategies and tactics to advance the cause for the liberation of Emaswati. And you must win that contestation. So awukwati ke ukuthi each and every time sekushisa ekitchen so yabaleka wena sowuphumela ngaphandle lokho sisakhula sidlala engwane party kwakubuya kube khona labanye lezidlala nabo lothola ukuthi nangabe mhlambe sidlala i3 aside noma i3 nangabe sekadliwa noma sokwentekile wamkenya noma kwentekile mhlambe wathi mawumaka wamaka kabi bese uthatha ibhola ngoba iyakhe so hamba nayo. So you don't live in Nkundla simply because your ideas have not won the day. You remain within the collective because what ultimately has to unite us, it is the principles that underpin the work of the MSF, and that is to deliver a democratic Swaziland in our lifetime, that is to deliver a multi-party democracy, that is to ensure that there is a democratic transition underpinned by a democratic constitution which will guarantee the rule of law and the rights for everybody, including the freedom of expression and assembly. Now, so if you are going to leave Lubumbana Kanjalo, who are you going to play with? Who are you going to contest with and test your ideas? So it is within the context of the MSF where we need to all coalesce and come together to ensure ultimately we challenge the status quo and we bring about the changes that eMaswati they are looking for. So ngizulu the unity of purpose. Sicelo sayo must be the principles, must be the ideals that we want, that we are seeking to establish even lakangwane. So ngaleso sizathu ke kumcoka ukuthi sonke lesikhona kangwane lesifuna lushintsho lesifuna ukucetha ingcinzetelo yetinkundla, we must be under one umbrella, and that umbrella happens to be the MSF, and we must ensure that not only do we grow the MSF, but also we ensure that we adhere to the principles of democratic centralism, which simply means that decisions that are made at a leadership level or at an assembly level, they become binding on everybody else, and all of us must ensure that we execute those decisions so as to achieve what ultimately is what we all want. So we are going to reach out to a broader spectrum of tinhlangano tikhona eSwatini, anybody that is organized in any shape or form. Kungaba tinhlangano tebhola, tabomake, masonto noma ngabe yini, we want to reach out to those people because those people have a stake in the Swaziland that we want, and we want them to contribute even in the dialogue that we are expecting. Lokufanele sibe khona njengoba kumenyetelo nje ukuthi tawugcina kune dialogue.
Ya ngoba usathi indzaba ye dialogue my leader, ngithola licingo namhla kulomunye lokhona lephakathi uthi eZulu yathi lenza we dialogue liyithathela phasi iyalungiselelwa ngala. Benda sure ukuthi njengoba kubonakala ukuthi nidlalo vele batayibida le dialogue, and angeke niphumelele ngandlela ninhlalo ngakhona. Ngifuna kuva my leader ukuthi usakhuluma ngayo le dialogue kukhona yini asingangeni lapho asiqale la my leader, tikhona inhlelo nema activities la khona iMSF lewalungiselelako noma kuthulile njengoba abantu basho lokuthi kuthulile my leader?
Ngingasho nje Zulu ukuthi si secretariat we are going to meet to look into all the programmatic actions le inhlanganisela inhlangano letingaphansi kweMSF dibheke ukuthi ema activities abe khona. Lokho sidabe sikwenda taking due regard of the constitution ye MSF, taking due regard of the Boksburg Declaration. Both the constitution ye MSF and the Boksburg Declaration, those documents are actually a call to action for all members of the MSF. Don't get MSF. But just broadly speaking, I think what is of primary importance in my view going forward, and I will deal with these issues even at Secretariat, is the issues about growing the membership base of the MSF. And I must emphasize that in membership the MSF is not individual. MSF. It is organizations. Kube bengabekisa mhlambe ngetinhlangano tebasebenzi ema-union, bengathi MSF is a federation of all motive forces that want a democratic Swaziland. Lokusho ukuthi ke we need to grow the membership base of the MSF. We must ensure that each and every Swazi that is organized in any shape or form is drawn into the ambit of the MSF. So that is a programmatic action that we need to embark on as a matter of urgency. Right now, we've got about 26 organizations and we intend to grow that. It is a follow-up on the dialogue announcements that have been made. You would recall, as far as 2 years back, there has been an announcement not only by the government of His Majesty, but also the South African president, who was the chairperson of Troika at the time, Cyril Ramaphosa. There's been an announcement again by the current chairperson of Troika, which is the Namibian president, dialogue. Not only that, but the government on Swaziland is on record and has announced dialogue on more than one occasion. And they've allocated a budget on 2 financial years, including the financial year Lesgi. And for the first time this year, Zulu, some few weeks back, the king himself has pronounced dialogue. So what is of importance to us, it is to follow up on those commitments so that we give meat to those commitments, in the sense that we must understand what programmatically, when is what starting, and how is this dialogue exercise going to be configured, and what are the applicable terms of reference that will be applicable bullet dialogue, and what is the shape and form that this dialogue is going to take. I must emphasize that what we are looking for is not merely a Vusela exercise, where bantu batawubitela etibayeni noma etinkundleni noma kuboshifu and so on. We are looking for a dialogue between two protagonists, those who appear to be favoring the status quo, which is the Tinkundla regime, with all its brutality, with all its corruption, with all its evils and the murderous crimes that it has committed against our people. So we have got Tinkundla on the one side, you have got the MSF collection on the other side. And the MSF in this particular instance is a leader of the mass democratic movement, and it must remain that way. And any action that seeks to undermine that in my view is a counter-revolutionary action, and it must be undermined and it must be defeated. So what needs to happen is that we need to follow up then on what are the actions that need to be undertaken to ensure that the dialogue eventually does happen. And if there's a budget that has been set aside for the dialogue, how is that budget going to be utilized? What is the steering committee that needs to be put in place to ensure that we get the ball rolling towards dialogue that must happen? It must be one that is mediated by an external eminent person or group of persons. It cannot be that you've got a Maswati just conversing amongst themselves. I think it must be mediated somehow, and then follow up on those issues with a view to ensure the eventual international lobbying efforts will also continue in earnest. This is both international lobbying in the political sphere, the diplomatic sphere, but as well as in the business, the commerce, and the financial sphere, insofar as trade is concerned. So we will continue with those lobbying efforts. But also we will continue to support that are of paramount importance. But also we intend to create the institutional capability of the MSF to champion all the causes that I've just listed.
No, my leader, we are thinking akufa lokuthi no CCS nayo umholi. Ngifuna ke my leader singahambi la. Ngifuna i-comment yakho nje, your message kuma comrade onkana la seSwatini ma diaspora overseas. Irathini nje i-message ku onke nje ma comrade my leader.
Well, I want to emphasize, and I cannot emphasize it enough, Zulu, inzaba ye unity eMaswatini, ikakhulu eMaswatini lathi alwela inkululeko noma alwela a new constitutional order in Swaziland. Ngicela phindze futhi ngakhumbule eMaswati ukuthi iMSF inhlanganisela inhlangano lokukhulu leselondela ngatukwabo noma ngaphasi kwabo is the constitution yayo MSF, but also is the 5-point plan lengicabanga labakhona ke MSF bayathi, but for the benefit of onke eMaswati sesingakubala nje ukuthi kokuqala kule 5-point plan kunenzaba ukuthi there must be an inclusive dialogue, because the inhlangano lapha ke MSF, they are non-violent organizations. They don't believe in violence. They are peaceful organizations that believe in non-violence, including me, by the way. I believe in non-violence. I believe that in a peaceful struggle, I believe in the principles of dialogue. And these are the same principles that Thulani Maseko, in whose footsteps we are following, also believed in. So it's an inclusive, externally mediated dialogue exercise. The second thing is the unbanning of all political parties. The political space kumele ivuleke lapha eSwatini. Kungabi ukuthi nje ipolitiki isetshenzwa ngale ndlela esetshenzwa ngayo la khona uma khona as an individual uvotelwe uhambe eParliament, awuna manifesto, awunani, no one can hold you accountable to anything. So we are calling for the unbanning of political parties, and we are unapologetic about that. It must happen. Political parties must be unbanned in Swaziland. And in the not so distant future, political parties will form a government in Swaziland, without a doubt. That is going to happen. The other thing is that there has to be, during the dialogue exercise, ne-interim government ultimately letawukhona ukuthi ibuke ema-affairs elive wazi kusalungiswa i-constitution lensha wazi kusalungiselwa ukuthi kube nama-free and fair democratic elections under a new democratic constitution. So-ke ngilokunye-ke lokusetshenziswa kwako lo nawo-ke ama-elections lama-elections lakhona manje eZulu ngiyathi ukuthi kukhona those who are in the mass democratic movement labathi bafuna kuyozama bangene eparliament. Mina ngingabakhumbuza nje babokhumbula ukuthi kuyangani igawuzela angabi sekhaya njengamanje kuyangani baqede namthandeni abekho nemindeni yabo njengoba sikhuluma njengamanje eveni Zulu la khona konke lenikwendabo kunemuntu munye that is above the law lo ngafike akuchithe konke ngebunjalo bakho ugunyatwa i-constitution ukuthi akwende lokho lokuyinkosi Mswati wesithathu. You cannot say you have a parliament because noma ningangena nibe ngu-59 nifike nivote nithi nifuna kushintsha i-constitution afike athi yena nguvumi lo usokucethile nje angeke umise enkantolo noma ungamise enkantolo kude nalethi inkantolo ditavele dicheme naye. So what purpose does it serve to go to parliament? In any event, what is it that going to parliament is going to teach us that we don't already know? So we have got real live and real-time examples. I'm saying my clients baqede emthandeni njengoba kusebusika nje balapha ejele kumathapha Gawuzela akekho la is on exile and bonke lokwabangela ukuthi wahamba waya eParliament wafike wenda lokufunwa ngulamaswati. So I am saying kulabo labantu awuvotela nangabe batakwenda lokwento angibaqede namthandeni naGawuzela ngibafisela inhlanhla siyabasekela sebangekhathi uma ngabe kwehlulekile futhi ngicabanga ukuthi ababuye sitosebenzisana ngendlela lesicetha kuchaza ngayo nangalezinye indlela lesitawuba nato ukuthi sibambisane sibenzane. There is no government, there is no constitutional change that you can bring through iParliament yaMswati. iParliament yakangwane inemuntu inemnikati and ngumnikati wayo lo show ukuthi nguphi umthetho lengifunako nguphi umthetho lengafuni. It's an absolute waste of time and resources. So but-ke sekwendekile Zulu sebadecide ukuthi baya ekhethweni mina kubebekuya ngami there's absolutely no need. If baqede namthandeni basejele there is no need to go to parliament.
Hayi ngiyakufa my leader sengifuna sivalelise leadership ungathi nje sovalelise eMaswatini magama akho ekuvalelisa namuhla my leader awu kodwa sinayo umula kuwedlakadla siyakuthanda my leader siyakuthemba futhi sihole edlakadla sebakho ungathi my leader sovalelisa.
Siyabonga Zulu nami siyanithanda siyawathanda eMaswati lokhu lesikwendako lesingenele Zulu we could have chosen not to do it. We are doing it for the love of eMaswati. And it comes at a great personal sacrifice to some of us and many of the leaders that are now in exile. Many exiled for reasons langa understanding. Lebe singakucela uhulumende lokhona leligama lecela ngesingisi bazi demand. Yeah. Not request but a demand. Besingathi as part of a confidence building exercise noma indlela yokwakha ukuthembana besingacela ukuthi the MPs lalapha ejele they must be released. Gawuzela must return knowing ukuthi akalengelwa inkemba noma akalengelwa amacala. Simfuna ekhaya Gawuzela. Simfuna abuyile. Ayilide iSalimo aseSwatini. So that would be part of the indlela yokwakha ukuthembana phakathi kwethu even as we prepare for the dialogue exercise. So there can be no dialogue as long as the 3 MPs are not with their families. And ngifuna ukucela eMaswatini lo ningaluthwa lide. Indzaba yokuthi kusize sifike la sikhona khona ma petition nako konke it was being championed in the main by the 3 MPs. Let us not sell them out by being part of processes which were championed by them. And then isichubeke silanzelele leto tinto labathi championisha basesengala lebe bathi lwela basesengala bese thina sesiyavuma ukuchubeka sikusebenzele nabangekho. We should not allow a situation where anything happens boGawuzela namthandeni nabacede basejele. That's the starting point. This also applies to all the political prisoners. Labanye lababoshwe lo nyaka, labanye lababoshwe eminyakeni londlulile. Le nge-frustration. The TV space must be opened up so that eMaswati they can contest around ideas. And that is what must happen in a democratic state. But also that is what must happen as part of building confidence amongst ourselves. Lokunye ke kunebantu labalengelwa macala labafunwako labadingelwako labulala amaswati labelungu lebe bavele balwa bangafuni ukuthi South Africa ikhululeke lese babulale abantu sebagcine baniketwa ne-citizenship yakangwane. Mina ngatalwa eSwatini ngakhulela eNgwane Park angikwati ke eSwatini but belungu labaphuma le-Europe bayajangaza eSwatini bona ba-free bayakwati isibende noma ngabe labafuna kenda even in my motherland. So we think all of that needs to stop. But also the unannounced state of emergency that is existing in Swaziland. Kumele siphele Zulu. Because everywhere you go, uhlangana nemasotsha, uhlangana nemaphoyisa, noma ngabe ngini, that's a state of emergency. All of that needs to end as part of a confidence building exercise. Utesikwazi ukuthi sithembane and ultimately sibe setafuleni. Konke lokho kutawunvulela idalo lokungeke kube idalo yasebulongweni esibayeni. Asikhulumi ngalento le. Sikhuluma ngedialogue ya boardroom. Lapho nasihleli khona as equals. Sihloniphana singathelelani. So that is what we are talking about. And that is what we are agitating for. So siyacela ke ukuthi part of what we will be doing as we going forward, we are going to emphasize indaba ye-unity. Siyacela ukuthi uwehle lo msindo wekuthukana and the trading of insults, but kudlange i-debate on substantive issues that will help us to take the struggle forward. Because even the quality of the debate ayikho. Ukuthi udawuthi nje nawo uzuthinza indzaba Mngomezulu ukuthi impatha ngamuva la esikhulungene ukuthi uchallenge le point esho lo muntu vele hayi ngimthanda kanjalo ungithanda kanjalo ini. Deal with the issues. That is the sort of debate lesifuna ukuthi eMaswati abe nayo, whether it's in the public media space, whether noma ngabe ngikuphi lapha eMaswati ahlangene khona. Sifisa lokho Zulu. Angigcineke nganabi ke. Ngicela nje ku-acknowledge la sendlulisele kukhala kwethu nekuvelana nemndeni wa Comrade Butana Dlamini lolunga leSwalimo ngaphinda belunga leSnathi. Sivile ukuthi ubulewe ngendlela le ngacaci kahle nendlela le khombisa ukuthi kube nesihluku ekufeni kwakhe. We want to say condolences kumndenini wakhe akwehlanga lingakehli emndenini wakwaDlamini nakuyo iSwalimo kanjalo neSnathi. Siphinde ke sibongele i-EFF South Africa lokumlabanye labasupporta kakhulu emzabalazweni waseveni lakangwane kuningi lokutako emageba lokuhlelwako nayo i-EFF. Siyababongela ke ku-10th anniversary yabo lebe ikhona Saturday eMaswati abonile sihambile sakhona kube impumelelo kakhulu. Siphinde ke sibongele namaphathi lachubekako nekulontsha ama-branch. Siyawabongela lamanye abhizi ayatraina, there's political education going on. I-CPS nje school, we want to congratulate them. And the Swaziland Unemployed People Movement, siyababongela nabo, they were busy in training and skills and equipping their members. So we appreciate all of those efforts. And in the MSF, that's precisely what we want. And siphinde sibonge ke nabo bonke laba participatile ku protest action yayitolo, something has to give. Siphinde ke sibonge kakhulu kulabo labathuka laba bonke labaholi labahlukunyetwako labahola ikakhulu ku-Labour lofaka phakathi Sticks Nkambule lofaka phakathi nekuhlushwa kwakhe Mbonga lesikubonile nekuthi agcina ngasaholi isikhathi lesithe. So siyabonga ke for those that have continued to rally around them and to support them during this very il-judge yalibe lenient, and then obviously prosecution it out, this is a serious offense. So we want to go and do what we call mitigation and aggravation submissions. So
awusiyabonga kakhulu my leader, siyabonga kakhulu leadership. Awusesiyahamba maswahla amahle akuthi ubhayi. Awusesihambile Swazi.